Hi everyone, I'm Rahil Sheikh. I'm a certified business consultant and investment migration expert based in the US. Today, I want to discuss with you the details of an E2 investor visa, which is there for business owners, entrepreneurs, aspiring owners, or wannabe-preneurs who are based overseas outside the US and who wanted to come to the US and develop the business here in the US. So the and the most important thing in the treaty country relationship of the E2 visa, you need to validate, you need to verify whether the country of your current citizenship or your current living is having a treaty relationship with the US or no. You can have a whole list of the countries which have the treaty relationships with the US available on the US government website, which is travel.state.gov. You can go and check first of all whether your country is there on the treaty list or no. And you know what? If your country is there in the treaty relationships, then there is a good news, and this is the good news that you are qualified or you are pre-approved for the E2 visa. Pre-qualified, sorry, not pre-approved. So you are pre-qualified for the E2 visa. Now, what is E2 visa? E2 visa is the people who wanted to start, establish, or invest into an existing business into the US, and they want to move to the US to manage their businesses. Now, there are certain requirements, there are certain limitations, there are certain prerequisites for the E2 visa application, and in this video I'll explain you the whole of the requirements and the conditions which are supposed to met for the E2 visa. In general, there are total 7 criterias which makes you qualified for an E2 visa. I'll break down all the seven qualifications here so that everybody will get a whole idea. The first and the most important is as I just mentioned, it has to be a treaty relationship with your country of current citizenship must have a US treaty relationship. Once you verify that whether your name is there on the list, you're good. Then we'll go to the second step. The second requirement of the E2 visa or E2 business investor treaty investor visa is that you need to have a ownership in the business, and that ownership cannot be less than 50% of the shares, which means whether you start a new business or you purchase an existing business, your current ownership has to be 50% minimum. Either anything above than 50% is fine, but minimum it has to be 50% to qualify the second requirement of E2 business visa. The third requirement for the E2 visa is you need to have an ability and the skills to develop and direct the business. What does that mean? Now, that means is that whatever the business you are choosing, that should match with your credibility, with your existing career profile, or with your potential. You need to have the ability. You need to prove that ability that you can manage that business. Whether it can be a retail outlet, it can be service industry, it can be an IT company, it can be anything. But you need to have the ability to run and manage that business. So if you have that ability, you have that potential that you can run and establish and grow the business, then you are good to go for you are satisfying the third requirement of E2 visa. The fourth and the most important requirement for this one, because in this requirement there is a lot of misunderstanding and the misconceptions are available in the market. I have seen a lot of people who probably not have hands-on experience with the E2. They have confused this particular condition. And what is that condition? That condition is that you need to make a substantial amount of investment to qualify for an E2 visa. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that you need to spend at least a minimum of $200,000 to qualify for a visa, or you need to spend at least $500,000 or $150,000? No. The answer is no. The substantiality clause means the USCIS does not care how much minimum threshold you have to invest into the business, which means the investment has to be substantial as per the business model. Now, in order to explain that, I'll give you an example that an IT company, a service-based IT company, has a less amount of initial capital requirement as compared to a retail store, or a gas station, or a high-end factory, or a the high-end businesses. So the amount of the substantiality clause is the one which defines as per the business model, which means if you choose as any service industry business, then then you don't need to invest 500,000, 200,000, or $300,000 into the business in the beginning. You can just make the business amount or a business investment which is substantial, which is sufficient for you to establish a business, run it, and cover up all the operational cost. That's it. It can be $50,000. If you have a $50,000 budget and you are going to have a service-based business, you are pretty much good to go to qualify and satisfy the requirement of the fourth requirement of E2 visa. In the same requirement, when we talk about the investment, one of the very important factor which we need to consider, whatever the investment amount has to be there, whatever the investment amount as per the business model you have decided and you think that is feasible, you need to provide the proof of investment, and you need to provide a proof of transfer of that investment to the US, which means that proof of investment you have to provide the clear documentation with the money trails. Where did you earn that money from? Did you borrow the money? Did you get it from your friends, family, or somebody? Did you earn it from your job? Is it your part of your savings? Did you sell your inheritance property? Whatever the source of investment is, you need to provide a sufficient proof of that amount. So if, for example, your business model requires a $200,000 investment or a $100,000 investment, so that $100,000 proof you need to provide. If it is a $50,000 investment, then you are good to provide a $50,000 investment proof, and that investment has to be transferred legitimately from your current country of residence to the US company bank account, and that has to be through the official banking channels, legitimate channels, and you need to provide that proof of transfer from your home country to here. The fifth requirement for the E2 visa application is the business has to be real and operating, which means you cannot purchase a shelf company, or you cannot purchase a dormant company, or you cannot invest into a business which is just on the papers, which is not real. So the business has to be real and legitimate, and it has to be operational. It has to be in a condition where the business, if you are buying an existing business, then it should be operational. If you are starting up a new business, then it should be ready to operate the moment you get the E2 approval. So you need to be very much careful and make sure that the business has to be real. The sixth requirement is the marginality of the business. Now, the substantiality of the investment amount is directly related to the marginality of the business. What does that mean? In business world, you can, if in a practical grounds, you can probably start a very small business, which is like by investing just a couple of $1,000s, which is like $5,000, $8,000, $10,000. You can start a small company. But does that qualify you for an E2 application? No. The answer is no, because that business is not marginal. That investment amount is not marginal. So marginal means that the business should be in the future, in down the line, after you get the approval and you start operating into the business should have a potential to earn more than your minimum living expenses, and it should have a potential to create some job opportunities. That now, in order to create how many job opportunities, there is no requirements, there is no threshold. You need to create the job opportunities as per your business model, as per your business requirements, but you must create some job opportunities. So the business marginality is one of the very important factor when it comes to the E2 application. The seventh and the last the last prerequisites or the last requirement for E2 visa application is the investor, because it's an E2. Remember, E2 is a non-immigrant visa. It doesn't lead to the green card. Now, how to go to the green card from an E2? There are different models, different segments, which I'll be covering in my next upcoming videos. But currently, we are talking about the E2, so we will remain focused on the E2 application or E2 business visa applications. E2 is a non-immigrant visa, which means same like a B1, B2 visa. The USCIS or the US consulate or the US embassies, they expect, they need to have a proof that you have an intent to depart from the US at the expiry of the E2 visa. Now, what does that mean? That means is like you need to come to the country, you need to establish the business, and you will remain in the country as long as the business is working. So you will keep renewing the E2 visa. But the moment, if at any point of time you lost the money, there is a potential or a risk in any business. If you lose the money, if you lose the potential, you have to lose the visa, and you need to have an intent to depart back to your home country. So you need to provide a sufficient ties in your home country, in your hometown, that there at the expiry or completion of the E2 visa, you have a good intentions to go back to your home country. So these are the 7 general basic requirements of E2 visa application. Now, in the next upcoming video, we will go for the detailed descriptions for each of the prerequisites. We will discuss what kind of a different businesses we can make, what kind of a business investment options are available, how to invest, how to choose a right business when you are not into the country, how to make all the paperwork done, how to keep your business ready, or how to prepare your business ready for your E2 visa application in the future. So stay tuned for that and just keep watching. Thank you so much. Have a good day.